Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I am Sarzishan and it's my lecture number 2. Computer class 7, chapter number 1, and the topic is history and generations of computers. As you know that this is the book. I have already given you about the lessons and the topics contained in the book. So, chapter 1 is for history and generations of computer. I told you about many devices which are called early devices. Means in the very beginning the calculating devices were invented. They are called early devices. So Charles Babbage developed an other engine which is called analytical engine. Before analytical engine, he developed difference engine, and I told you that difference engine was not completed successfully due to some technical problems. So you already know about difference engine. So I am starting this lecture from analytical engine. Charles Babbage designed another machine. Why another? Because the first engine he developed was difference engine. That's why he developed another machine in 1830. It was an analytical engine to be driven by steam power. It doesn't require electricity power, it doesn't require petrol, diesel, etc., etc. But an analytical engine to be driven by steam power. You remember the old railway engine? What they use? Steam power. This machine could not be built completely, but it gave the idea of modern computer due to Charles Babbage. You remember Charles Babbage? Charles Babbage is called the father of modern computer, known as father of computer. Who? Charles Babbage. I was talking about analytical engine. Now, tabulating machine. Tabulating machine was developed by Dr. Hermann Hollerith. You will have to read your book and read page number 8 and 9 of your computer book. Okay, so tabulating machine in 1880s. You see, it's a duration 1880s. It means it starts around 1880, then 1881, 1882, 1883 and so on till the end of 80s. Herman Dirac invented this machine for quick communicating. It was used in USA for census. Students, remember this word. Census. What is census? My lectures are in pure English language. The reason is that your book is in English, and also computer has everything in English. So you must know the meaning of census. If you do not understand the meaning of any word in English, you cannot understand the lecture. I am telling you what is census. Census means to count how many men, how many women, and how many children are living in an area. So, Dr. Herman Holliman designed the machine for the purpose of census in USA, and it is during 1880s. Punch cards were used in it. What are punch cards? Many years ago, the punch cards were used in IBM, ICL, and any other machines to store data, to input programs and JCL, job, control language, etc. etc. Now, punch cards are not in use. So, it's a short description of tabulating machine. What are these devices? All calculating devices which we used in early stage when the modern computer was not invented at that time. Mark 1. This computer was developed by Dr. Howard Aiken along with a team of IBM engineers. It was a teamwork. Of course, Dr. Howard Aiken was the main person, was the most important person, but the IBM engineers of that time helped Howard Aiken to develop Mark 1. Now, I am telling you about Mark 1. It was developed in 1944. Mark 1 was partly electronic and partly mechanical. It was 8 feet in height. You understand what I am saying? 8 feet in height and 55 feet long. My goodness. Think about the size of Mark 1, height, length, and its weight. It was not easy to move Mark 1 from one place to another. Okay, so we have finished analytical engine, tabulating machine, Mark 1, and now ENIAC. ENIAC is a short form. And it's an abbreviation, so its long form is Electronic Numeric Integrated and Calculated. Developed by Dr. John Morsley during World War II for military purpose in USA. It was a very important machine, and remember that where it was used, military use. After all these devices which was used in early era, I am coming on generations. Generations are very important in history and development of computer. And all my lovely children, you should remember that we have 4 generations of computer. Not 4, but let me say now 5 generations. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation. And also one more generation which is called fifth generation. So first generation, duration 1951 to 1958. First generation computers, of course, it was a big invention, but these computers were very large in size, very heavy. And remember this thing that first generation computers used vacuum tubes. Vacuum tubes were used in first generation, and due to these tubes, the computers got very hot, and it requires air conditions. That's why maintenance was very expensive, and the size of these computers were very large, but capacity very low, cost too much, work very small. I wrote these points over here for you to remember. First generation computers, these computers used vacuum tubes, large in size. Look at the board now. Low capacity. Number 4, slow in processing. Number 5, very expensive. And I am giving you the example of first generation computer. Example is UNIVAC computer. What is UNIVAC? Universal Automatic Computer. So I was talking about first generation. Now, generation of second generation is from 1959 to 64. And it's a continuous development in the technology. As I told you, first generation, after that second generation. So the computers belonging to second generation, they were more powerful than first generation. In the same way, these computers use transistors. It's smaller than first generation, faster in speed than first generation, less expensive. They could communicate with each other over telephone lines. Example, Hornwell 400 computer. This is the example of second generation computer. After second generation computer, I am coming on third generation, and third generation computer was very important in the history of computers because these computers use ICS. What are ICS? Integrated circuits. ICS, integrated circuits. Due to the use of integrated circuits, it was a big development in the history of computer belonging to third generation. Number two, is smaller than second generation, more capacity than previous means second generation. So the capacity of third generation was more than the capacity of second generations, less expensive than previous. Example, IBM 360 and IBM 370 computers. Fourth generation. Duration of fourth generation from 1975 till now. What is the characteristic of fourth generation computer? The computer which we are using nowadays, they are fourth generation computers. At your home, you are using computer, PC, that is fourth generation computer. They use microprocessor. Due to the use of microprocessor, the speed of fourth generation computer is very high. Small in size, you can move these computers easily from one place to another, from your bedroom to drawing room, and also in your school, from your class to computer lab, from computer lab to your class. Very easy to move them. High speed, of course, very high speed. Use of internet with fast speed. This is the most important use of fourth generation computer. That we are using these computers for internet. We can communicate through all over the world. Example, PC, personal computer, and all of the computers computable to personal computers, IBM PC. So dear students, we have finished first generation, second generation, third generation and fourth generation. Now tell me this thing that there is one more generation called fifth generation. What is that? It's a dream of future. That means fifth generation computers are for present and future. The scientists are thinking about that. How can we use the computers? How can we work on the computers? That computer should work by itself as a human being can do. Anyway, it's a dream. Let's see what will happen. So, fifth generation computer is for present and for future. I hope you understand my lecture. The English which I was speaking, very simple, very easy, and you should also try to talk in English so you can understand many of the pronunciations and accents of English language. Computer is in English, so try your best to improve your knowledge in English language. I hope you will put your comments after my lecture 1 and lecture 2 for class 7 computers. Thank you very much.